All right. Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to Gaming Tonic. I am just Vince. Welcome in, everybody. Viewers, it's awesome to have you here. Listeners, it's awesome to have you here. We're back with another episode for the new week. And I am joined this week by my co-host,
Devin Kronk. How's it going, fellas?
Excellent.
Welcome in. We
Excellent.
are also joined by our good friend, Spicy Doom.
What's going on, guys?
Hey.
How you doing, man?
I'm doing fantastic. Fantastic.
Yeah, exactly.
It's great to hear.
Erica in the chat says, OMG, spicy, exclamation point, exclamation point. That's the hype we love to see. Exactly. We love spicy around here.
Raise
We're glad
the
to
hype
have you.
for Spicy.
We are very
I'm
excited
glad
to have
to
you
be
back
back.
on the show, dude.
Yes, first guest of the year, in fact. You
There we
have
go.
that accolade now.
You know
First
what's,
gonna get a t-shirt.
2021.
you know what's crazy? You were the first guest last year, too. You're on a roll, dude.
Whoa.
You're going to have to be...
coming every year. Just keep me coming. You know, I'll be the first one.
Absolutely, dude.
Heck
You're
yeah.
going to have to be the first guest next year, too, when we do this again.
Absolutely.
Of course. We'll love to have you back.
Reoccurring, yes.
So what have you guys been up to this week? What's been going on in the world? We'll start with you, Devin Kronk. What's been going on in your world right now?
Pogo stuck. Lots of pogo stuck. Mind-melting pogo stuck.
I've seen it. Looks terrible.
Yeah.
I mean, you're
yeah.
getting really good at it, but it looks like a terrible time. Like,
Dude, we played yesterday. I played before I got off, and I got to a new part finally. I just want to say that I'm really stoked. I got past the little cliff thing. If you've been watching, and it was incredible. And then I fell again, of course, but I had that brief moment of bliss, so that was cool.
you've done it though. You've done it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
You've
I
made
know I can get
progress.
there now.
That game
It's-
just seems so frustrating.
It does.
I can only. There's a reason I limit it to about an hour a day, because if I go any longer, I start getting angry, and I don't like being angry while I'm streaming.
I get that. Yeah, you have to limit it a little bit. You have to. Games like that
Yeah.
are just rage-inducing. I mean, what is it? Getting over it? Is that what it's called?
Getting over it.
Getting
yeah.
over it. Pogo stuck. Yeah, Dark Souls even. So
Well, getting over it. I played that one on stream, and I beat that maybe like in 2 or 3 weeks. This is a tough one, man.
yeah, yeah, most definitely it is. Just a couple things I want to shout out real quick before we keep going on. Magic Munchkin Olivia, thank you so much for the 1 bit. We appreciate you. Thank you for that. And then Curry J
Hey.
also subscribed. Let's go. And then some
Cool.
things that people are apparently pinging me on in the chat is we hit 600 followers.
Hey,
Oh, let's go.
I swear we just hit 500
Oh.
like 3 days ago. This is crazy. So thank you so
Probably
much,
was
everyone.
About 3 days ago, Vince, you're going crazy, buddy.
Yeah, it has been a wild week, that's for sure. So thank you very much. Thank you very much. We speak very good here.
Thank you very much.
We speak many good words. Thank you so much for all the support, guys, and all the love you've been showing over the last couple of weeks. You've been absolutely amazing, and we are happy to have you be part of this community with us. So, Spicy Doom, tell us, how has your week been, man? What have you been up to? What's been going on in the world of Spicy?
Oh man, it's a lot of me getting angry at like Warzone and Apex and stuff like that. That's all I've been playing is Call of Duty for like the last like month is Warzone or Zombies.
I mean, and real quick, in my mind, I mean, this is a basic algebraic equation that they should probably teach in schools. If Call of Duty, then angry. That seems to be the correlation between those two. So,
sure.
If that's not in textbooks by next year, I'm going to be frustrated. We have enough issues with the current standardized school system, so that needs to be in there. So keep going. What have you been up to? Call of Duty, Warzone?
It's just Warzone and Apex, man. That's all I've been playing. I have not like touched a single player game or anything in like 2 months, I think now. It's been a while, but that's all I've wanted to do. Is just I feel the aggression and I want the competitiveness of like multiplayer and stuff. So that's like all I've been doing.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Have you been taking
feel that.
dubs in Warzone?
No.
So how's the gulag?
Dude, I mean, my name in the Discord with all my friends that we play Warzone with was Gulag Gary for a long time.
Oh,
It's
gosh.
like, I
Gulag
felt
Gary.
like I spent most of my time in the Gulag and not that game's just a different breed, man. Like I've played
I
a
think
lot of
you-
battle royale games, and it's just I don't know what it is.
You might have to rebrand, man. That's a pretty good name.
Yeah, Gulag Gary is the name.
That
I
has
mean,
to
that
be
is the
taken.
Call of Duty name. I love it,
Yeah,
dude.
I'm assuming it has to be. But yeah, Gulag Gary is what the persona I've taken on when I play Call of Duty now.
That's awesome. At least you're a good sport about it.
Yeah.
Also, for anyone here in the live show, I know that I'm typically really like interactive and active with the people chatting. If we see something that sticks out, we'll talk to you about it. We'll like answer your questions and that sort of thing, just a heads up. But typically while we're doing the podcast, we're not typically interacting with chat. We're just doing the podcast, just so you know. I feel like we need to get a message or a command or something that says that. But
I think we do, don't we?
Do we have one that says that?
I think we put one in mine that one time we did it in my chat.
Because my internet was scuffed?
Yeah, it was that little notice, and it kind of just said what you said. I'll copy and paste it to you later. All
right, we'll get it done. But just so you guys know, that's what's going on. So, well, I mean, it's awesome that you're getting your competitive juices flowing and stuff like that. Unfortunate that you haven't found your way to any dubs. I know that like wins in a game like that with that many people and that sort of thing going on can be a little bit much, but
you're capping, bro. I was lurking in your stream the other day and I saw you win. I think it was the day I raided you. You got a win before I came in.
Oh,
you're right. I forgot about that.
Oh, so
you're right.
He got it. Yeah.
But I can tell you,
short.
I have to have a pretty decent amount of hours in that game, and I think I've only won like 3 or 4 games. But Apex, I got a win just the other night when I was streaming. Apex is easy. That's an easy.
I took a win with you one time.
Absolutely. There you go. That was a hype moment. Yeah.
That was.
Yeah. Apex is excellent. It's a very fun game. But man, like listening to you talk about how like you couldn't remember getting that win at all. I mean, I feel like that's the nature of competitive games, you know, like you remember every single loss and then like you just forget the wins like immediately. You know, it's like everything is Tetris. Your mistakes add up and your accomplishments disappear, you know. That's just the reality.
Like I just get so many wins I forget, you know what I mean?
Like, there you go.
It's second nature, you know what I mean? Like
yeah, that's the move right there. That's how you got to think about it. Well, I mean, y'all have been able to witness a little bit of my week. I have no idea actually what's been going on in my stream the past like 7 days, to be honest with you. It has been absolutely bananas. Like all the support and all the people coming through and the Smite community being what it is. Like never in my days of streaming have I seen it go the way that it's going right now. Like the last time that I saw this happen on this level, like and this quickly to anybody was I mean, Devin, you know Draynella, right? I mean, I host him usually on my channel. Like he's usually live.
I watch him every Saturday morning. Dude.
Yeah, we sit here and hang out and watch
for the podcast.
Yeah, we watch Draynella on my channel while we wait for the podcast to go live. And the last time that I saw it happen like this was when he came up playing Apex Legends when the game first came out. Like the growth was that explosive, and people just like loved him and his energy and his channel that much, and it was incredible to watch, you know. And I'm like. I mean, I kind of have to sit back and look at it and I'm like, is this my come up right now? You know, like that's how I have to think about it, you know, because like every single day I go to bed and then I wake up and I'm like, there's no way all these people are going to come back tomorrow, you know, and then I wake up to messages from all these people in my Discord, you know, and it's amazing. You know, the community has just been incredible and these people are beautiful and fantastic and they're posting selfies and being friendly to each other and playing games with each other while I'm at work and stuff like that. And I'm like, I love this. This is what I love about gaming in a nutshell. It's fantastic. So I've been feeling very excited about all the stuff going on in the community. That's for sure. It's been good to see you get back on and stream a little bit more as well, Spicy, because I feel like I didn't see you streaming as much for a little bit there. So it's been really nice to see you get back into it and be able to drop by a couple of your streams while I'm hiding in the bathroom at work. But it's been good to see you both out here doing what you're doing and doing what you love and enjoying yourselves. That's for sure. So. I mean, was there anything else that either of you? I saw the camera focus. That was funny. Is that the face that you make to get your camera to focus again? Is that how you fix it?
No, I was just like, holy shit, it's not focused, but it worked. Now it is. Now it is the face I'll make to get my camera to focus.
I mean, you're at 100% success rate. So
the emote, dude, you made the emote face.
Oh gosh, can you just real quick throw a spicy emote in the chat so these people can see it? Because it's amazing. That's one of the best emotes I've ever seen. Just to be clear,
I feel like that is like on global emote level of emotes. Like that, if I didn't know who you were and I saw that, I would think it was just like one of the global emotes.
Seriously,
that is so good.
That is such a good emote. Oh man, yeah. So and also anyone in the chat, anyone listening, feel free to go drop Spicy Doom a follow. He's awesome. We love him here. He is our first recurring guest on the show, and he was the first person who came to mind when we were like guests for 2021. It's got to be him. We loved having him on here before. I don't have a shout out command because I suck and I'm an amateur streamer, but still.
I got it.
Yeah. I did have kind of a strange interaction. I'm going to mention this real quick because Magic Munchkin Olivia just brought it up. I went and stopped by her stream because like I'll just go into work and just like stand around in the bathroom and chill out and just like scroll my phone, you know? just because that like my bosses don't walk in there looking for me. You know what I mean? So like. I go in there and I'm just scrolling my phone and I'm on Twitch, like hanging out in people's chats and stuff like that. And I went into Olivia's stream and I was like, "Oh, hey, what's up?" She's like, "Oh, what's up? How you doing?" You know, and I got my Bluetooth headphone in so I can hear her talking. You know, it's not like I'm just like full volume in the bathroom like a heathen. Because there are people that do that at my job, by the way.
What's going on in that stall?
Yeah. And she was like, "How you doing?" I was like, "I'm just hiding in the bathroom at work, hanging out." And she was like, "Oh, well, you know, enjoy your poop." I was like, "Look, I didn't say I was pooping. You know, come on now. Wait a minute." Like, why you got to take it there? But it was funny. We had a laugh about it. It was okay. But yeah, that's like my ritual.
I always wondered that, Vince, if you wore headphones or not while you were on the break.
Yeah, of course.
You come into chat and I'm just like, damn, I'm just hooting and hollering over here. I wonder if his coworkers are like, what the hell is wrong with that guy? Like,
I mean, y'all have seen how I am when I stream, dude. I'm like actually super sus out here when I stream. If people have their headphones off at their job while I'm streaming, watch out. Let's say
that's what I'm saying. Sometimes I got two cheeks out. I'm going full hard on pogo stuck. You know, it is
what it is, man.
I can't have strangers knowing what's up with that. That's a private occasion.
I mean, it's not that private. It's on the internet for everybody now.
It's private between me and the viewers.
Only on OnlyFans. But this week, we've got quite a few pieces of gaming news that I'm excited to talk about. We had actually quite a few big announcements that happened this week. I've been a little slower keeping up with the gaming news lately since I've been kind of ridiculously busy the past like 2 weeks. But the first big one that we're going to talk about is one that kind of got one portion of the gaming community massively riled up. Microsoft said they were going to increase the price of Xbox Live to $120 a year. What? I mean, how do you guys feel about that?
I don't have an Xbox, so I don't care.
I'll take this one since I think I'm like one of the only console gamer alive. So for me, I guess it's pretty dumb. I mean, that's a huge price jump. It's basically doubling the price of what Xbox Live is now for a year. It's only like $60, I think. But for me personally, like I don't pay for just Xbox Live. So like I was kind of talking about this before. It was basically just only the price for Xbox Live.
Yeah.
It's like if you didn't buy Game Pass Ultimate, which is what I have, you would have to spend like $120 for the year to get just Xbox Live, which is ridiculous. I mean, people are already upset that you have to pay anyways to play games online. But I mean, I've been doing it for, I don't know how long I've been playing Xbox for, but I was glad that they realized that they made that mistake and immediately fixed it. People were not happy at all, but it's pretty dumb to even try to do that in the first place.
Yeah.
Microsoft needs more money, dude.
No, they don't. But I strongly agree. That was a dumb choice, you know? Like, and I think this was the type of situation where it was like when Netflix started slowly increasing their prices, you know? They were testing the waters to see what they could get away with.
Yeah.
Realistically. I mean, and we're seeing this with the MSRP of games going up as well with this newest generation of console games that are coming out.
Like $70 some games are. It's like
Yeah, they made the jump from 60 up to 70 this generation, and realistically they didn't need to, you know? I mean, the profit margin is still there for $60 games. It's just they're trying to make even more money. And I get that because, you know, capitalism and all that stuff, but looking at this is doubling the cost of a service that isn't improving.
Yep.
If they had been like, we're changing it to $120, but here is all of these things that you're now getting. And for $120 a year, I would expect it to be Amazon Prime level of things that you're getting. I want there to be Microsoft Music Service. I want Microsoft to deliver groceries to my house. I want them to feed me in my home. Microsoft better knock this out of the park if they expect me to pay double what I'm paying right now for Xbox Live. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm. It does.
You know, like, and they weren't doing that. They were just like, we're just going to take more of your money, and that's okay.
Yeah, it was. Yeah. It's weird. Like I said, it was definitely. It seems like it was just a way to get people to get Game Pass Ultimate. They're like, listen, stop just paying for Xbox Live when you can get this and you get all these games on your console and on PC and you get Xbox Live.
Yeah.
And if at that point it's like, then just, I don't know, get rid of Xbox Live altogether and just make it Game Pass Ultimate, or just don't have a subscription for online play or something. But I don't know, man. It's definitely like when you're talking about like Netflix and stuff, like Netflix, I think did it it's still annoying, but they did it a little bit better. Like, you know what? We're raising it like $1. Like, it's $1 more now a month that you have to pay for it. Where Xbox is like, nah, double it. Figure it out, pay for it. Like,
yeah, exactly.
But yeah.
I mean, that's how much I don't pay that much for my internet service from my provider.
Yeah,
to be clear. Here. I have 400 download, 30 upload. That's not like terrible internet speeds. I don't pay that much for internet. And they expect me to pay that much to be able to use my internet with their box? Probably not, Chief.
That much for internet.
I'm good.
But even paying that much for internet, they expect you to pay twice as much as your internet costs to be able to use your internet on something you already purchased?
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
Yeah, it ain't cool. But the good news is, after backtracking after receiving all of the backlash that they did, because they should have received that backlash because it was a terrible choice, you can now play free-to-play games for free on Xbox Live, which you used to have Xbox Live to be able to do it. Do you play any free-to-play games, Spicy, as an Xbox gamer?
Apex. I mean, that's probably the biggest one. And I guess technically Warzone, because Warzone is free-to-play. So yeah, I guess I exclusively only play free-to-play games on my Xbox.
Oh, that's actually funny. I didn't think about that. So you haven't been playing any of the Black Ops Cold War recently or anything like that?
I mean, yeah, I guess I played zombies for the most part, but yeah.
He's a free 2 player.
Nice, dude.
I'm a mobile gamer, dude.
Yeah.
mobile gamers, rise up. So the next piece of news on our list is another big one. For me personally, at least, because y'all know I love any game that has loot or progression in it. Casually addicted to progression reporting in. According to Jason Schreier, a video game reporter for Bloomberg, if you don't know who that is, just to cite our sources, Vicarious Visions, who used to be specifically in Activision like studio, did the remake for Tony Hawk Pro Skater. Correct, Spicy? I think you were the one that mentioned that.
Yes, Tony Hawk Pro Skater.
Okay, they are not just doing a remaster of Diablo 2, they're doing a full remake. Like a complete from the ground up remake. I'm expecting like a Demon Souls level remake. Using the term remake instead of just remaster, you know? Like that tells me there's going to be more going on under the hood. It's going to be a big upgrade, is what we're looking at. You know? Because you look at a game like Kingdoms of Amalur, Re-Reckoning that came out. The remaster for that game, they legit increased the resolution and like updated a few textures and that's it. And then it's the exact same game. It doesn't look that much better. It definitely feels dated. The combat doesn't feel any more fluid or anything like that. You know, it's clearly the same game, just, you know, here again. And you can play it at a higher frame rate, probably, and that's it. I'm expecting this to be a lot closer to what we saw with Demon Souls, where they took all how it looked on the PlayStation 3 and made it look incredible on the PlayStation 5. I mean, that looks like a game that was built from the ground up for next-gen hardware. I would even say that Demon Souls is potentially the best-looking next-gen game so far.
It does look insane.
I mean, I've been so impressed. Yeah, watching all the gameplay for that. So, I mean, does this hit home for either of you at all? Do you care about Diablo news? Are you excited? Are you not excited? Have you played Diablo? I mean, any feelings here?
I played Diablo 3. I never played Diablo 2. And when I played Diablo 3, I played it alone and like got really bored really fast. So it was kind of like a whatever thing for me, but I'm always willing to get back into it. I don't know if like, does this make you hesitant as someone who's played Diablo? Like, is this the direction you wanted it to go? Like a complete remake rather than a remaster?
Absolutely.
Do you think they'll change things that like made Diablo 2 what it is, you know?
Okay, so the thing is, a lot of people who played Diablo 3 and didn't like Diablo 3, what they wanted was Diablo 2 with updated graphics and like some updated systems, you know? That was the biggest problem that people had with Diablo 3, is that it strayed so far from Diablo 2. So as long as they can keep it close enough to Diablo 2, you know, but just like give us a little bit of the quality of life from Diablo 3, I will be ecstatic. I hope that's what Diablo 4 is, honestly. Like if Diablo 4 remastered is basically Diablo 2 with new systems and better graphics and like the more inventory space that they included in Diablo 3 and stuff like that, and not having to use identify scrolls or portal scrolls because it was annoying to carry those. I'm sorry, it is what it is. I guess some people are into that. Some people are into having just like trash consumables that take up your inventory that you have to be able to play part of the game and enjoy it. But I don't. Yeah, I don't like it personally. So if they bring the entire thing up to date and make the animations more fluid and make the entire game look incredible, I'm here for that. That's what I want. You know, the only part of Diablo 2 that I loved was the itemization and like the campaign. You know, like the core gameplay loop in that game and all of the different like varied items and the rune words and all that stuff. It was awesome. You know, skill trees too were pretty cool. You know, but
Yeah.
it was the core game elements, and those aren't going to change in a remaster like that or in a remake. You know, it's going to be
Right.
the graphics and the animation and maybe some quality of life. That's what they're going to be really, you know, pushing, and I love that. I think it's awesome. Have you ever
it's
played
cool.
Diablo Spicy Doom? Any of them?
I played Diablo 3. Pretty much just like Joker. I bought it, played it by myself because none of my friends. I played it on console, so like none of my friends bought Diablo 3 because they all played Call of Duty. So I was just like, I'll try it out. I mean, it's cool. I had fun playing when I did until I got bored playing it by myself. But I
I
mean,
feel the same way.
like the Vicarious Visions, they did Tony Hawk, and I want to say they also worked on the Crash Bandicoot and the Spyro remakes, which are both, all three of those are fantastic remakes. I've played all of them, and they all are, they play really well. They feel like you're playing the game that you loved when you were a kid, just now looks a lot better and plays a lot smoother. So, I mean, I'm stoked for Diablo.
We like that.
Yeah.
They did indeed do the Crash Bandicoot remake. I don't see the Spyro remake listed on here, but I'm checking the Wikipedia right now. So, what were we gonna say?
Yeah, that's kind of where I'm at with Diablo. It's not like I haven't been a lifelong fan or anything like that, but I've always thought it looks cool, and I think if I gave it another chance, be with some buddies, I'd probably have a pretty good time with it. I just got bored of it by myself. I don't know.
Yeah.
And I mean, let's be honest, dungeon crawler, you know, like multiplayer looter games, they're better with friends. Like
Yeah,
the best
absolutely.
time that I ever had in Borderlands was playing with friends. And that's not even a game that I like that much anymore or have a desire to play anymore, but like the best times that I had in that game were with my buddies.
Mhm.
So I think that these games are kind of designed to be played like that. MMOs, same deal. All the fun that I had in Path of Exile, like I had most of that fun playing with my buddy Jason, who was teaching me. You know, like, and that was a really cool experience for me, and that's a very similar game to Diablo. So, I mean, do you have any
Playing with
interest
friends,
in
man.
do you have any interest in buying a Diablo game in the future? Like, if the Diablo 2 remaster comes out, will you try it? Do you care?
I'd probably try it. I care enough about it to try it, yeah. But I guess we'll see. I'll probably sit on it for a while.
See how it shakes out.
Yeah.
Well, didn't they? I mean, I know it wasn't the same company, but didn't they also remake Warcraft 3, and it was like known to be a terrible remake of a game?
Warcraft 3 was actually disastrous. When
Yeah,
it
I
came out.
wanted that so bad, and then I heard that it wasn't good, and it made me kind of sad.
Yeah, it was a huge mess. But this is a different studio, so cautiously optimistic. We'll see how it turns out. Obviously, I want it to be good because I love games like this, but we'll see what happens.
Yeah.
So, the next piece of news on our list, id Software, the devs of Doom and Doom Eternal, okay, are working on a VR game called Project 2021A. And it's mentioned that it will have online interactivity and high-impact violence. Does this sound like another Doom game?
Kind of, yeah.
I mean,
But who knows?
Could be. I mean, it would be weird because I don't think it's nearly as big, but it could be like Quake. They could be making like a Quake VR game.
Oh.
Same type of thing.
That would be interesting.
Okay. Okay, a new Quake VR multiplayer shooter, because there have been a couple of multiplayer shooters that have come up on the VR market in recent years that have been a little bit interesting. I'm trying to remember. There was one specifically I heard about. I'm going to go browse Steam real quick and look for this real fast.
Pavlov?
It is Pavlov. Thank you.
Yeah.
That is exactly the one I was thinking of. I was like I couldn't remember the name for the life of me, but
yeah, it's like VR CS:GO. It's pretty cool. I haven't played it, but I've gotten close.
Yeah.
I don't. You can like grab people's weapons like off of their holsters and like
Wait, really?
pull pins on their grenades and stuff. Yeah, it's so funny.
that sounds awesome. That sounds
yeah,
really
it's
cool.
really cool.
I mean, that kind of interactivity is exactly what I love about VR. So I hope that they're pushing stuff that direction as hard as they can. I mean, that's the coolest stuff that I saw in Half-Life Alyx. We talked about this a little bit before, but like all of the things that you can just interact with and grab and touch in the environment and move around and like throw at people and, you know, use. It's awesome. That is when VR is at its best, is when it's that interactive. Whatever this is, you know, if it's Doom, I would love to see super graphic, violent Doom in virtual reality. I know they did a virtual reality Doom release, I think for the PlayStation VR. That was okay.
It's like Doom BF VR or something like that, or something, some weird name for it. But yeah,
Doom VR. I just googled that. Yeah, Doom VFR. Okay.
yeah, there you go.
VFR.
Yeah. So
What does that stand for?
Virtual fucking reality.
That's the one. That's the moneymaker
Okay,
right there.
I was gonna.
No, it's okay.
All right,
It's
cool.
okay. We've mentioned we allow one per show. That's the rule.
Yeah, there's our one F bomb.
All right, we did it. We figured it out. So
squeezed it out.
The main thing that like turned me off of this one is I think that this had the one where you like choose where you want to move and then your character just teleports there.
Yeah.
For the movement, and I hate that personally. I think the sooner we stray away from that with VR, the better. But at the same time, that's one of the best ways to alleviate motion sickness.
I was gonna say I have to do that. I get so motion sick in VR.
Yeah.
I played this one game called the Gorn, and you're just in this little arena beating people up, and I used the joystick controls on the controller, and
yeah.
I pulled my headset off, and I was sick for the rest of the night, dude. It really took me out.
That's crazy.
I didn't think I would get motion sick.
Wow. Yeah,
it's no joke.
I've tried a few VR games and never had it that bad. I actually tried another shooter on the PlayStation VR that was kind of similar to Counter-Strike, a little bit like Call of Duty-like, where you can actually play multiplayer and move around and shoot people and stuff like that. And I used the joystick controls for that too, and I actually didn't get motion sickness that badly, but it might have just been a different type of game.
I get it really bad from the ones where you have to like look in the direction you want to go and then move forward.
Oh, okay.
Those get me so bad for some reason. I don't know what it is, but yeah, they really take me out. I'll be sick for the rest of the day.
Yeah, because this
I get real motion sick on both, so maybe that has something to do with it. I'm prone.
You're what? Sorry, you got like a robot for a second. I don't know.
Motion sick prone.
Oh yeah, you're good. No worries. I feel. That game, though, it was like you looked around with a joystick still, but you could aim with your gun. So, like, when you turned with a joystick, it would snap to turn, kind of like when you choose a location and you snap over there. But it only did it for rotating left and right. And then anytime you were looking around, you were pointing with your weapon. So that was kind of cool. I feel like that's, like, one of the better control schemes I've seen for shooters that are like that to kind of help alleviate the motion sickness a bit.
Too.
Yeah, it might. It might still make you sick. But I'm excited to see where virtual reality is going. I hope it's going to be awesome. I hope that, by the time this comes out, virtual reality is affordable, but probably not.
Yeah.
So the next game on our list, or the next piece of news on our list, according to GameRant.com, Halo Infinite will be having multiple betas in 2021. Expected to be similar to the flights they did for the Master Chief Collection, starting small and then expanding over time. They'll first be sending out the invites through the Xbox Insider program. I've been part of the Xbox Insider program for a little while now. I participated in some of the flights for the Master Chief Collection and stuff like that. Spicy, you said you're also part of the Insider program. Did you do any of the beta testing for Master Chief Collection when they were doing that?
For PC?
PC or Xbox. Did they do a beta for Xbox or they just dropped it? They just dropped it, right?
They dropped it and it was a hot mess. I don't think I ever did any of the betas for PC, but I've done some, like they've done betas for like other games like that aren't even like made by Microsoft, but they do like I think Sea of Thieves, when like Sea of Thieves was first coming out, they did a beta for that, and I messed with it a little bit when it like first came out, but it's pretty cool. I mean, it's cool to see them doing this with Halo. I think they're I think the stuff with Cyberpunk is really freaking out a lot of game developers that are making these huge games, and they're like, we're gonna just keep dropping little bits of stuff so that you can test it out. I don't know if you guys saw, I'm just kind of going off topic.
No, go ahead.
It's a game like it's like Outriders or something.
Outriders, yeah. Square Enix looter shooter. Yeah.
It's supposed to come out next month, and then they're like, ooh, you know what? We're gonna drop a beta and we're gonna push the game out 2 more months because we're like, we want people to. There's supposed to be a beta that's going to come out the day I think it was originally supposed to come out. That's going to be like free and everyone can try it. And they're like, all the progress you make in the beta will carry over to the actual game.
Yeah. And
the game will get released on April. So I feel like a lot of companies now are going to be taking this like beta type approach to their games because they're like, ooh, this game that was massively hyped flopped like crazy. So we're going to do everything we can to make sure things run correctly when the game comes out. Yeah. Which for Halo they need it because Halo has lost a lot of fans over the years. So
yeah,
most definitely.
We touched on that at one point, didn't we? The whole Outriders beta thing, Vince.
Yeah, we did.
I believe we. Yeah. And apparently, I think they should take it that direction. More beta tests, please.
Apparently, the beta happened and they couldn't even get on the servers. Right? Was what happened. I think that's what Shoria said that.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's a mess, dude. And I'm hoping obviously that it gets a lot better when it comes out to full release, because this is a game that I was actually really looking forward to, was Outriders that you mentioned.
Yeah.
I was wildly hyped about that, and I am slightly hyped about Halo Infinite. Like it's kind of 50-50. I was very excited for Halo Infinite because this was going to be the first Halo that was coming back to PC that was made with PC in mind. The Master Chief Collection was a port. The last one that came out like that was Halo 2, I think, came out for Vita.
Yeah, for a Vista, Windows Vista. Yeah, it's Halo 2.
Yeah, it was. Yeah,
Windows
Vista specifically.
Yeah.
I say had to update the title. I put GTA. It's supposed to be GT app. I'm just like bad right now. Sorry, Sniper. That was my bad. I made it wrong for you. I apologize. But I hope it's going to be good. The last trailer that happened is, I don't know, man. It really let me down a lot. Personally, I was expecting to see a lot more out of it, but at the same time, there was a lot of like core stuff there that I was like, okay, this seems really cool. You know, like a lot of people. Yeah, grapple hook looks awesome. You know, I love the grapple hook in Apex Legends. I'm a terrible Pathfinder player, but using the grappling hook feels awesome, and it looks like it's a lot easier to use in this game. Honestly, like it looks like it's a lot easier.
Doom Eternal.
Yeah.
When you use the grapple hook in Doom Eternal.
Yes.
That's fun as
yeah.
So good, dude.
Yeah.
It's like
It's very fun. It's excellent. I love like the grapple hook in pretty much every game I've used it in. It was great in Just Cause 3. It was great in Tomb Raider. Like, I mean, there's obviously Apex Legends. I mean, there's been many iterations of an excellent grapple hook. Titanfall 2.
Titanfall, yeah.
You know, I mean, the movement in that game is crazy. So if they get anywhere close to that, I'll be happy. But I think that pushing this towards betas is absolutely the right direction here. Have they done any betas like this for multiplayer before? They did for Halo 5, right?
They did a beta for Halo 3. If you bought, this is taking it back. If you bought Crackdown on the 360, you got a beta for Halo, which made Crackdown like one of the like most selling games at the time because everybody wanted Halo 3 beta.
And Crackdown was actually an awesome game. I mean,
Crackdown
it was actually really good.
You got the beta for 3.
The most recent Crackdown, not so much, but it was okay. It was very okay. Halo 5 Guardians did have a multiplayer beta. I could have sworn they had one. I wanted to double check, and I guess it was neat. But I think the thing that gives me the most hope about this is that they're saying they're going to have multiple betas, and I think that's important. You know, because that means. Like, to me, that says we're trying to have multiple testing iterations here so that you can get your hands on the game, give us some feedback, we can make some changes, and then give it to you again. And that's a big deal to me, you know? I'm hoping that's where they're taking it. It might just be, as stuff is ready, we're going to let you test it, and it is what it is. It's just going to be what it's going to be, but we're letting you see it ahead of time.
Cold War just did that. They did like an alpha, and then they did a beta, and then I don't think they changed anything, to be honest with you, but
yeah,
they let people play it. So
yeah, and that's kind of why I'm like, it might go either way. Honestly, I'm curious to see how it shakes out, but hopefully they take some feedback and the game turns out awesome, because I would love a new Halo game built from the ground up for PC to be great, because I love that franchise, and Halo 5 was kind of a letdown for me. So I would love it if they swung it back the other direction a little bit, give it that true arena shooter multiplayer feeling, and not try to make it so similar to everything else on the market. So the next fatty piece of news here that we got, Resident Evil Village got a release date. It's coming out May 7th of this year, which is awesome. It got a whole bunch of new like videos, trailers, reveals of stuff that's inside of the game. And then also
vampire ladies.
Yes, tall vampire ladies. Excellent. Yes, the entire internet apparently loves to be choked. But and then they also showed a terrible PvP trailer. It looks awful. Like I just watched it before the stream because I didn't get to see it. Like I watched like some of the highlights of like the reveal and stuff like that, and like the multiplayer looks awful. The graphics are weird. You know, it doesn't look nearly as good as the main game.
Yeah.
What's the thought process here? What do you think, Joker?
My thought process is just pure fan service. They just threw a bunch of characters that everyone likes in a multiplayer, and they're all here. You'll like this, right? It's got Leon in it.
Yeah,
that's where I'm at.
I feel like, I mean, they did this with what was it, Resident Evil 3? They added that multiplayer mode, Resistance, I think is what it's called.
Yeah,
Like, I don't. They clearly, Capcom clearly wants to make some kind of Resident Evil multiplayer game because they keep trying to like do this. They did it with this is an older game, Operation Raccoon City, which was like a multiplayer type Resident Evil game.
Don't remind me.
Listen, man, I'll die on this hill, but I actually enjoyed Raccoon City. I like playing. I played it with my friend. That probably might be why I liked it, but I enjoyed the time I had with that game.
Playing with friends, man, can make a bad game good for sure.
It's like when you go out to eat with people that you like to a place that's not that good, you know?
Yep.
Yeah.
And you get the food and you're like, this food still sucks, but at least we're here together, right? You know, that's how I see.
The drinks weren't too bad.
Yeah, exactly. It's still alcohol. You know, that's how I see forced multiplayer in video games. The one thing about this that kind of like gives me hope, I guess, is if they ever nail this, you know, if they ever actually get it right, it's going to feel a lot like GoldenEye.
Oh yeah, just a bunch of 007 villains and characters just
hanging out, yeah,
each other, just chopping people, bro. Like,
which is kind of cool. Like, if you're a big Resident Evil fan, like, you could probably look past maybe the crappiness of the gameplay and graphics itself. Like,
cell shading, dude. And
yeah, if I really enjoyed Resident Evil that much, like, it's cool, but I'm not like a super fan or anything. But if I was and I saw that, I'd probably be pretty stoked for it.
Yeah. And I guess my thing is, like, Fall Guys is a very fun game. It's not graphically knocking people out of the park, you know? It's got that almost like Mario 3D, like, you know, panache to it. It's like not quite mind-blowing graphics, but it looks clean and it looks good. The graphics in this are very specifically going for that, like, cel-shaded art style, which is okay. But, I mean, I don't need to be blown out of the park graphically by this. I just need it to be fun. And if they can make it fun without having a whole bunch of terrible DLC like inside of it, then cool. You know,
dude, are you kidding me?
We're getting a proper
DLC for skins and
it is Capcom.
You have to pay for every character, and
you do that with like every Resident Evil game. There's always like 1,000 DLC skin packs and stuff like that.
That trips me out so much. Remember back when you used to just unlock costumes by playing the game and doing difficult things?
Yeah.
Man,
now you can just pay for it.
Seriously,
I swipe my card, you know.
Yep. It's sad. You hate to see it. Obviously, I hope it turns out good, but I don't expect it to. We'll see what happens. I mean, you think we're going to get a beta for the multiplayer by chance?
Maybe. I mean, they did it with Resistance, so maybe. I mean, possibly.
Devin, I mean, any opinions?
I wouldn't know. Yeah, no.
Yeah, no clue? All right.
Maybe.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of up in the air at this point. I think it depends on how good it is, you know? Because I think that if we get a beta for the multiplayer, like, that's kind of them saying, okay, we have something here that we at least want to show you guys, you know? Because a lot of companies nowadays, they don't really use the beta for testing; they use it to market.
Yeah.
So I think if we get a beta for this, that's actually a better sign. If we don't get a beta for the multiplayer, that's a big red flag for the multiplayer for me.
You don't worry about this multiplayer, guys. You'll play it when it comes out.
Yeah, trust me, it'll be good. We promise, you know?
Just be excited for it, all right, guys?
It's Resident Evil. Come on.
Yeah, so we'll see what happens.
Leon, yeah.
Remember Leon? Member? I member. Capcom members.
And Mr. X.
Oh yeah, you can play as all the villains and stuff in that too. That looked kind of crazy.
Yeah,
I mean, there's
like when
definitely
you die,
something
you
there.
turn into him. It's weird.
Yeah, there's some sauce in there. They just got to get it nailed down right, and I think it'll be a lot of fun.
They got to make the sauce right. You know, it's present, but it's got to be mixed properly.
They got
and
the ingredients, but they don't know the recipe. You know what I mean? Like,
yes.
What do I do here? Like,
we have internet and we have lovable characters. How do we just bring these two together right now? We can't quite figure it out. It's like what Nintendo's been doing for years. They need just slightly better internet to mesh with all of their good characters.
Seriously. Don't even get me started.
And speaking,
if I get to play as the tall lady though, I'm in.
Tall vampire lady? Oh,
yeah.
would you play the multiplayer to play as tall vampire lady?
I'd be exclusively a Resident Evil review streamer just to play as tall lady.
Dude, you're gonna have to pay an extra $15 to play as tall lady.
Oh man, watch that happen.
Simp, you know what I mean? I got a simp.
You have to.
I mean, I
gotta, money for the queen.
That costs less than my tier 3 Pokemon sub, so you're good, dude. No worries.
Yeah.
So our topic for this week that we're going to be talking about, that wraps up our news segment for this week, is battle royale games, and we got quite a bit to talk about here. We've done some different things with like discussing genres in the past and like different topics that we highlight, and we're gonna try something a little bit different this week. So what we've got some questions here, and we're just going to discuss these questions. So, what is your favorite battle royale and why? Let's start there. We're going to go to you first, Spicy. What do you got? Favorite battle royale game that you played?
Apex Legends.
Why?
I feel I feel like Apex, in terms of all the games that I've played that's Battle Royale, it plays the best. It's the smoothest in terms of gameplay, gun mechanics, kind of everything like that.
Mhm.
And they don't try to throw too much into the game, I think, to like, I mean, it's cool to have like the different legends with the different abilities, but in terms of like guns and stuff, it's pretty much been the same guns for a long time. They might drop like one new one every so often, but I feel like games when you talk about like say Warzone, for instance, where there's like 800 different loadouts you can make or something like that, it's just like it's kind of overwhelming. And with Apex, it's just drop, pick up that ground loot and fight, and it just feels so smooth. It just feels like the best made Battle Royale game.
Yeah, I definitely agree.
Apex is sick.
Yeah, Apex is really sick. What about you, Devin? Do you have an opinion? Favorite Battle Royale? What do you got?
Yeah, I'll bring it back a little bit with mine. I think maybe not the smoothest playing Battle Royale, but one of my personal favorites is probably the old Arma 3 modded Battle Royales.
I
Those
actually
were so much fun.
I never got to play those.
Me neither.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think a whole lot of people did, but they go back. That was like because that was when they still called it like Hunger Games. Like that it wasn't even called Battle Royale yet. So you would just and have you played Arma at all before?
No.
Either of you? Okay, so that game
I played a little bit of it.
Really? Okay, cool. So it's a mill sim, so the guns they try really hard to nail like that realism with it. So like I don't know how to explain it, but it just felt so realistic and it was really hard. I never won. But like it was always a good time, and the map is so big and camouflage actually works, and it's
That's
just
cool.
it's an experience. But Apex definitely has like one of my favorite more modern ones. Kind of just exactly what you said. It's smooth. I like the drop in grabbing loot more than I like collecting money and paying for a loadout. So
Same.
Yes.
I'm with that.
Yeah, definitely. I like those answers a lot. For me personally, my favorite Battle Royale is actually Tetris Royale.
Oh,
And it is not even close. Like, I tell you, man, like it's kind of weird. For those of you who haven't played, who are listeners or whatever,
so cool.
or watchers, like Tetris Battle Royale is brilliant. Like we've discussed this on the podcast before, but whoever it was that was sitting down at the studio that made that and was like, here's what we need to do. We need to take 100 people all playing Tetris, put them on the same screen, and fight each other to the death. and that is the answer, you know? When you're like, what is the next blockbuster game idea? That was it. I mean, it was incredible when it came out, and it was so fun. Like, that rush that I got, the first time I won at Tetris Battle Royale, I mean, me and another person in our blocks are like screaming down the screen because they're moving so fast because you're that late into the game, you know? I got second place 6 times before I won. And I mean, it was a nail biter. And I mean, I got second place badly. Like, the people who I lost to were clearly better than me. Like, they were the guys who were out here farming these lobbies because they've been playing Tetris forever. Okay? And it's on the Switch. You can play it on the Switch. Tetris Royale. It's incredible. If you have a Switch and Nintendo Switch Online, go get it. But man, what a rush, you know? Like, and it's so stressful and it's so tense, but you're just playing Tetris.
I didn't even consider that. That's such a genius pick. That it's such a strange game too, because you'll just be sitting there and you're playing Tetris, but time is going by so quickly because they found a way to make it so competitive so seamlessly. Like, it just works way too well. It's weird.
Yeah,
I bought a Nintendo Online just to play Tetris Royale. Like, like that's literally, I don't use my Switch for anything. It literally sits tucked in a corner somewhere. But I got Nintendo Online just to play Tetris.
On a similar note, have you guys tried Super Mario Bros. 35 yet?
It's
like the same thing.
Play it, but it looks pretty cool the way it works.
It's similar layout. The windows on the side that show everyone's progress, and then when you kill something, it goes to the opponent's map, and whoever lasts longest wins. It's pretty fun. I've been on that one a little bit lately. Yeah, that's a great pick, Vince.
Thank you. So, what is your least favorite Battle Royale? I mean, we know your favorites. What's the one you hate, you know? We'll start with you on this one, Devin, because we went to Spicy first. What do you got?
I would probably have to say, and I might get some dirt in my eye for this, but I really didn't like Realm Royale.
When did you play it?
Okay.
Like a while ago, probably when Fortnite was just on its come up. So maybe like 2 years ago.
Okay.
I just didn't have fun with it. I liked Fortnite more.
Okay, if you liked Fortnite more, that's understandable.
Yeah.
So the thing is, like, Realm Royale was kind of what people who played Fortnite who aren't builders were looking for, if that makes sense. Like, it's kind of a weird way to say that, and like, I think that the medieval like battle royale is something that hasn't been done well enough yet, and I'm excited to see anybody try that in the future. I've seen a couple of things on Steam and early access that are kind of working towards that, but nothing that looks like Realm Royale did to me.
The one thing I liked was the chicken thing. I thought
Yeah.
that was
Oh,
awesome.
yeah, that was super
I
cool.
enjoyed that a lot, but other than that, I was kind of like, yeah, why would I play this when I could play Fortnite?
Yeah. And for anyone who didn't get a chance to play it, the chicken thing is in Realm Royale, when you get downed, instead of just going down and like crawling around on the ground, you turn into a chicken. You basically get transformed into a chicken and you run around in circles. And you
You're
can like jump
elusive.
and fly and stuff like that. And you can get upgrades. Like one of the loot things you can find increases your movement speed while you're a chicken by like 50%. So you're fast, you know?
Yeah,
or increases
that
your
part
health
was cool.
while you're a chicken and stuff like that. So like there's ways to play around it. And if you can evade your enemies from finishing you off long enough, you get to come back to life at low health.
Yeah.
And I mean, I personally loved Realm Royale. I mean, that if not for Tetris Battle Royale, Realm Royale probably, like, when it first launched, would have been my favorite. They very quickly, like a month and a half, 2 months after that game came out, made a ton of terrible decisions because Hi-Rez Erez is one of the most questionable decision makers in the history of leading companies. He was responsible for the death of Global Agenda. He was responsible for the death of Tribes Ascend. He was responsible for the death of now Realm Royale. I mean, the dude is
that game still like up? Like,
Realm Royale servers are still live, but it is in maintenance mode. They're not. They're not really pushing it forward. And I mean, can you blame them? They had one of the biggest launches and the biggest, fastest takeoffs since like PUBG, basically. When that game came up, everybody was playing it. It was awesome.
Yeah,
people were loving it.
I played it right when it dropped too. Yeah.
Yeah, and it was so fun, you know. But legit, a month and a half after that, it was terrible. He came in and said, change this, change this, change this, and then it became awful, and everybody stopped playing.
Yeah. I think Fortnite, if I hadn't played Fortnite first and gotten that, because I was really into Fortnite when that game came out too. And so I think it just got me right before Realm Royale could have. I think it could have been different, but it is what it is.
Hey, I like it. We love hot takes here, and that's a hot take for your least favorite.
Spicy take right there, dude.
He would know. Spicy Doom would know.
I don't play a whole lot of battle royales, so it's kind of like a tight pool for me. Like, we've probably discussed every battle royale I've played already.
Oh, well, there you have it. All right. What about you, Spicy?
I don't. Probably my least favorite genre.
Me?
Yeah. What is your least favorite battle royale?
See, so I was really trying to think of it because I think it's a mix of two different possible things. I was really leaning towards Fortnite, simply because of the building. But then I got a win on it the other day, so I'm like, well, it's a great game. So honestly, though, I think Hyperscape. Hyperscape is probably my least favorite. It's weird. So I played this game the other day because I was like, I wanted to hop back into it. I saw someone that I watch on Twitch play it, so I was like, I'll try it again. Have you guys played Hyperscape? I don't know if you've tried
I have.
I love Hyperscape personally. Do
Yeah,
you play on controller when you play it?
Yeah.
Okay. I get why you hate it. That's an
that
enough said
sense.
for me. I mean, that game is hard. Like,
There's a lot going on.
I feel like Ubisoft in this. I've gotten more into it that I started playing Rainbow Six on controller again after playing it on mouse and keyboard. But I don't think Ubisoft is very good at making shooters that work well on a controller.
Definitely
I feel
not.
like the sensitivity, I can never get it to feel right. Like I'll tweak it so much, and it's something always feels off. But I played Hyperscape the other day, and like there's like I don't know if it was like a mode that I just hopped into or something, but like you just get kills in the beginning, and people can just keep respawning until a certain timer goes off, and then it actually starts. Like I thought I was like, is this a pre-game lobby or something? But they do that weird like pre-game lobby before the game starts.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, it was like a timer would just keep going. It's like get as many kills as you want, and then the actual game starts. And I was like, well, I don't want to do that. I just want to get into the game.
Yeah.
I don't like having to run around and find the same gun multiple times to level up my gun. And I don't really care for most of the like abilities, like the I'm gonna turn into a big ball and start bouncing around the map and all that stuff. I was like, I don't really understand. But yeah, I don't know. Maybe it's just because I played it on controller, and I like I said, I don't think Ubisoft's very good at making controller-based shooting games. But yeah, it's probably the one I've had the least amount of fun playing, and probably the one that I've put the least amount of time into because I don't like playing it.
Yeah,
I can kind of understand that. I feel like my biggest bone to pick with Hyperscape was this might be on me because if you know me, I'm not the best at games, but I felt like it took forever to kill people in that game. Like you could just be beaming them and they just don't die, or
Yeah,
like
sometimes,
there's so much mobility that if you're playing against somebody that doesn't have old guy reactions, you can typically just kind of like run away and heal. And the fights are long. That's I guess what I'm trying to say. It's very very long-winded fights in a very fast-paced game.
Yeah.
yeah. I mean, when I was playing Hyperscape, I didn't play it for very long because there were just other games that I was playing at the time. But like, I actually really enjoyed it. But I like arena shooters, and it felt like someone took like Unreal Tournament or Quake or something like that and put it into a battle royale. And it was so fast paced, and you had to be so accurate for it to be good. Definitely my least favorite thing about it, like you mentioned, Spicy, was having to find the same of multiple guns. That sucked. That felt awful. Running around and like you get your gun upgraded 3 times. I mean, the good thing was you did get upgrades every single time you found another weapon. Like it would improve the magazine or the damage slightly or something like that, And then once you got it to the max level, then you got the big upgrade, But man, like if you were running around with that level 3 gun and you had to have the 4th level, like the sniper specifically, I think to get it to one-shot headshot, or like, I'm trying to remember if I have this right or not. I think it one-shot headshot at max level. It might have done it at the 3rd level too. But whatever level you had to get it to where it was able to do that, if you didn't have it at that level, it felt like garbage.
Yeah.
And then the same thing with whatever like the wingman equivalent was in that game, like their revolver for Hyperscape, whatever that was. If you didn't have that max upgrade, like you were going to have a bad time. You were not going to be doing the damage you needed to do to keep up with the people that were running around with a hex gun or an assault rifle or the SMGs that were really strong and all that stuff. So,
yeah.
Did you guys, I had a huge thing for swapping my weapon in that game. Like I loved the animation, like the gun made when it would like just swivel out and turn into this. I thought that was so cool. That was like my favorite part of that game.
Like, the visuals of it's really cool. I like the aesthetic.
Yeah.
I like the way it looks. But like I said, when I run into like 10 different buildings to try to find like the next level for my gun, I get so frustrated. I'm like, please just like be in here. Like I don't want all these other things. But
and it's always the gun you don't want to.
Oh, yeah.
It always has to be. You got to like kill someone to find the gun you want. That's how.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, and Roach just mentioned in the chat as well, the max level shotgun shredded, and definitely it did. I mean, it was so fun to use. I love shotguns in battle royale games personally. I mean,
see, I do too.
In a game like that, it's real easy to get in someone's face too, so it works out perfectly.
Yeah. And I mean, this question isn't on the list, but like, real quick, what is your favorite gun that you've ever used in a battle royale game?
Oh man,
if you had to pick one.
In Fortnite is probably the battle royale I've played the most, and I always really liked the Deagle in Fortnite. But like when they first dropped it, and it actually like if you tap fired enough, it would just be deadly accurate every single time. You leave like 1 second of space in between your shots, and it just goes right to your crosshair. And I love that gun.
Like the level of the level of the pistol in Halo 1.
Yeah, dude.
Like that kind of accuracy from range, just ridiculousness.
It was crazy. Yeah, it would go wherever your crosshair was, and then they nerfed it, of course. But yeah, when it first came out, it was dummy strong.
What about you, Spicy? If you had to pick one, what do you got? Favorite weapon?
The R99 in Apex.
Oh,
I'm a very aggressive player, so like an SMG is like my favorite thing. So being able to just push like a team with an R99 and just do an insane amount of damage.
Dude.
It's probably like my favorite.
And like personally, like I am not better on controller on PC, but automatic weapons in Apex on controller feel so good, dude. Like the recoil control just feels so right. Like I don't know what it is. Like I don't know if it's like slightly reduced because of aim assist a little bit or something like that, but like being able to recoil control feels so much more natural on a thumbstick for me for some reason. I don't know what it is. Like if you don't have the pattern memorized already, I have a way easier time on console than I do on PC with that. Like if I don't like sit in a training lobby for a while and like practice where I'm supposed to be dragging my mouse and stuff like that, like I do way worse on PC. But yeah, the R99 is definitely a fun one. A couple of people in the chat said Apex G7 Scout and then also the Apex Peacekeeper. And it doesn't surprise me at all that the Scout.
Peacekeep.
Yeah. It doesn't surprise me.
I really like the Scout.
You really like it?
I do.
Both of you like it?
That's one of my favorites.
Yeah, I mean, like when I was streaming it the other night, I got a win pretty much just using the Scout, like the entire time.
Yep.
Yeah,
it's a really good gun.
With the double tap.
Oh, dude, it's the double tap. It's over. It's like don't even fight me, bro. Like you're gonna lose.
Beautiful.
Unless my aim's not good. But other than that, like you're gonna win.
The variable.
Okay, like weird, like guilty pleasure here. One of my favorite noises in all of gaming is when you're getting to the final shots of a magazine with the G7 Scout, and you hear that ting, ting, ting on like your final shots. That sounds so good. I don't know what it is, but like anytime I hear that happening, I'm like, oh yeah, perfect. I'm here for that. I love it.
Emptied a mag, dude. Let's go.
Yeah. Corman also said the hammer from Royale was so fun, and actually all the weapons in Royale were really fun to use. Honestly, that's one of my favorite things about that, and why I would love to see a fantasy battle royale in the future, but like a actual high fantasy battle royale, not just like medieval combat. I want magic, I want mages, I want archers, I want all the crazy stuff that they had in that game, just in a new game. That's
like
from. Kind of like Spellbreak, but made for people who are bad like me. Because Spellbreak is hard. Spellbreak is really hard. Spellbreak is properly difficult. And it takes a very high skill level to play, and all the way the magic abilities interact with each other and stuff like that. Like that's just a little.
I love that. Yeah, that's my favorite part of the game for sure.
There's a tornado over there. Let me throw some fire in there.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. And my issue with Spellbreak is like, it's one of those games that I love to see people play, but I will never be able to play well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
and I think that's the problem a lot of people have with that game, is that's an incredibly well-made game, and it's very fun. But I mean, I would almost say it has a learning curve on the same level as MOBA games. Like it feels that complex when I'm starting out trying to play that game and like trying to lead my shots properly with like the icicle sniper or whatever, like and learning how everything interacts with each other and how the combat is and stuff like that. Like your early lobbies are going to be easy, because you're playing against people who aren't good. But as soon as you get into the real lobbies, the proper lobbies, and the matchmaking kicks in, like, nope, that is no longer fun for me. I'm out of there. That's for sure. One thing I was going to say earlier was it doesn't surprise me that Apex weapons stick out to a lot of people, because I think that that's one thing that, like, as many issues as I've had with Apex as someone who played that game really hard. I mean, I was like in the top 100 on like for Lifeline players on PC when the game first launched for like the first month and a half. Like I was moving up the leaderboard on kills on Lifeline. I was grinding that game so hard, and having put that much time in it, my favorite part about Apex is the weapons.
It's like, they feel so good, man. It's that's what I was saying. Like it everything about that game is just, it's so like tuned in so well that it just feels so smooth.
Yeah. Most
you guys want to play Apex after this, or
no? I really don't. I really don't want to play Apex after this. I have so much love for that game. I have no desire to play it any more than I did currently. Every now and then I'll get the itch, but it lasts for about 3 days, and then I'm like, we're good. I'll put it down again. I've had my fun. I'm out.
I get that.
My favorite weapon in a battle royale game was probably the bow from Royale, like the longbow. If you guys ever played the archer, it just felt really good to use. It was like,
I don't even remember.
Somewhere in between like Hanzo from Overwatch and whatever Realm Royale had going on, and like somewhere in the middle you find that bow, and you can just like snipe people and have a good time, and it felt so good to use. You had an arrow that you could shoot. It was like a knockback arrow or something that would like knock people out from behind cover, or like launch them into the air or something like that. And like if you were,
I do remember
if you were doing that,
you
could shoot like into cover where people are trying to hide from you and launch them into the air, and then you're just like skeet shooting at that point with your bow and arrow, and it felt so fun to use, dude.
I remember that. That was so cool. That Realm Royale. I take it back. It's not that bad. It's coming back to me a little bit now. It's been a while.
I love this game.
Yeah.
But my least favorite battle royale, because I didn't say this, it's Warzone, and it's not close. I mean, I have way too many issues with Warzone. I have probably put more hours into Warzone than most of the other battle royales I've played. I think Warzone is probably my 4th highest played battle royale game, and I hate it. I hate it so much. Like,
it's very hard to get to have fun playing that game.
And that's what I don't like. I can have a certain level of fun playing Apex, just dropping in with my buddies and chilling out and killing people and having a good time. I can have a certain amount of fun getting dunked on in Fortnite by children who know how to build quickly. Okay, like because it's just entertaining to watch at least. I cannot have fun loading into my 10th Warzone lobby for the night, going to push a team with my buddies, okay? And I go to hit a flank. And while I'm hitting the flank, another 3 teams of 4 that are all high-fiving each other and slapping each other's butt. And they're like, yeah, we're going to get this one guy who's trying to flank the team and help out his bros. And we're all going to fire at him and not shoot each other ever, okay? Because there's always a million third parties in that game, all just waiting, all hiding in bushes. They've been there sitting, chilling out for the last hour and a half, waiting for you to stroll through, you know? I mean, they've never gotten a loadout. They haven't looted anything else. They picked up their guns and they camped and they waited, you know? And they're having fun. You know, it's them and then the people who, you know, use the stim glitch to stay alive in the zone for 15 years after you've just had a 12-kill game. Like, it's crazy.
Like, can we talk about how I think Activision is probably one of the most profitable gaming companies. I think they probably made more than EA last year when I was looking into it. Activision, because of Blizzard, obviously, but
yeah,
Activision makes so much money. Call of Duty is this huge franchise, probably like one of the biggest FPS franchises ever. I don't understand how Warzone has so many glitches, so many broken guns. Like, I feel like they do not do anything to that game to balance it out, to make it sure that it works. And I get so frustrated every time. Like, they dropped the DMR into the game, which is basically this overpowered single shot rifle that everyone in the game was using. Yeah. And then they dropped the MAC-10, which is basically the SMG that could kill you in like half a second. And you're like, what, how is this getting put into the game? Like, who tests this stuff? Like, I don't understand.
Yeah. And I mean, it's because they know that people will use it and they know that people will do that kind of stuff. They don't care, you know. They just want people to. They just want the numbers. They just want the money.
They want the content to come out
it's
of
something fresh.
Yeah. It's just like, oh my god, it's so frustrating.
Yeah, and I mean, and we've talked about the servers before, you know, but like realistically, the fact that their servers are as bad as they are for Warzone is inexcusable. We have the technology. They have the money. If they have the means and the technology is there, you know. Because we know the technology is there because we've seen it in other games. Why aren't they doing it? You know? Obviously, it would cost a pretty penny to fix it. But I'm just saying, like, yeah, somehow, Amazing just said Smite servers greater than Warzone servers. I play on 110 ping or more because I live on the West Coast in Smite. And that's also inexcusable, but still.
Still better than Warzone.
The fact that, I mean, they have 12 hertz tick rate servers for Warzone is inexcusable. You know, with as much money as they're making off of that, and realistically, even if they only fix the servers, all the other issues I have with the game aside, if their servers worked properly and they worked good and they took some of that money and reinvested it into the game, I mean, I would actually probably like to play Warzone more, just if the servers worked properly. Because the amount of times that I've gotten hit markers on somebody and they not die when I had already shredded their shields, or the amount of times that I ran behind cover and then died immediately behind cover, you know, just because that's a thing that happens, it's awful. It feels terrible, you know.
Yeah.
Because I like losing when I can tell I did something wrong to lose. That's one of my favorite things about Smite. I mean, if anybody here has watched my stream, they know. When I die, I break it down afterwards. I'm like, what did I do wrong here? I was out of position here. I was in a place I wasn't supposed to be. I didn't see them coming behind me. They made a really good play. You know? Like, it's easy to look at it and say, this is what went wrong for me. When you look at that, I mean, what went wrong for you was Activision didn't make sure that their stuff was set up properly, so you got screwed.
Mm-hmm.
How do you play around that? You know? You don't. You just take an L, and it sucks. So how do you feel about Battle Royale and esports? Because this is kind of something that's been really coming up the last like 3 years or so, as Battle Royales have been coming up. I mean, do we like it? Do we think it belongs in esports at all? I mean, what's the general feeling about esports in relation to Battle Royale specifically? We'll start with you on this one, Spicy.
I don't know. It's interesting. Esports, like I get, because like for me, esports, right? You have like what, like, so if you just look at FPS, you have what, Rainbow Six, Call of Duty, stuff like that.
Yeah.
Where it's so much more like Overwatch, I should say. It's so much skill because it's you kind of already know what's gonna like people have the meta of the game, whatever, and they know how to do it. Whereas like a battle royale, it's so random in a sense of you might get good loot and you might not. Like who knows, man? You might get screwed over because you didn't find anything. And obviously, skill does still take. You know, it still is a factor in it, but it's very interesting. I remember trying to watch PUBG like tournaments when PUBG was like really popular, but then like people kept cheating in tournaments for PUBG and stuff like that, and I was like, well, this isn't fun to watch. And then, I don't know. Like to me, I don't feel any like hype watching a BR tournament more than I would just watch a regular person play a BR game in general. Like if I'm watching like like for instance Call of Duty League or Overwatch League. I'm watching like the highest tier people play against each other, which is cool to me, but I don't know. I don't feel the same way when I watch like a battle royale tournament, because to me it just seems like it's a regular battle royale game. Just there's nothing special about it.
Yeah.
What about you, Devin?
I feel very similarly. I mean, we kind of talked about this last week too. I don't like the whole randomness of it all, you know, like dropping in it doesn't, if you have two people that are the same skill level, but then one guy drops in and picks up the worst gun in the game, and then this guy happens to come in and pick up the best gun in the game, he's gonna win because they're the same skill level, but he's got the better gun, right? So
Yeah.
like I feel like stuff like that could happen, and that seems a little cheap, I guess. But I don't know. Maybe you know where the right loot spots are. Maybe you know how to outplay somebody with that gun because you've been practicing. I think as long as there's going to be people that are good at that game, competitive will exist for that genre rather. So it is what it is. It doesn't get me hype or anything, but people enjoy it. Whatever.
Yeah. For me personally, like I actually like watching the esports of Battle Royale a lot. PUBG is kind of 50-50. Depends on who's playing and like how the game goes, because it can be really slow. But like there are a few things as tense as the final like 5 minutes of Battle Royale esports. You know? Because then the people who are going to be weeded out by RNG have been weeded out by that point. You know, this is the people who made it here because they fought to get there. You know what I mean? And like those last 5 minutes where the zone's closing in and everybody's getting funneled towards each other. I mean, it's like watching high level Apex ranked. You know? Mm-hmm. Like as that zone closes in and all the people are like losing their traps and stuff like that, and they're having to move out of cover and shoot each other, like it gets so fast and so hectic. Like if basically we could have all of the esports people play out their games in advance and just do like, give me an hour, okay, of 5-minute segments of the last 5 minutes of every single one of the matches they played, please. And just let me only watch that part because that's the only part I actually want to see. Like, that would be incredible. But outside of that, I think it sucks. It feels so bad.
Yeah. I see your point of view. That it is really cool to see the end where it's all tense and quick, for sure.
Are most, like, as I know, like, a lot of tournaments that I see for at least, like, Warzone and stuff are, like, kill race tournaments, or just, like, who could get the highest kill? Is that like what Apex is like, or is it just
Apex does legit tournaments
where they just throw all the teams in a lobby and then?
Yeah, they actually had a legit LAN where they had all the teams come out and like play on computers in the same lobby together, and it was really cool to watch. It was actually awesome.
I've seen a ton of like kill race tournaments where it's just like they'll join random lobbies, and it's like the best like 3 games out of a certain like time frame that they have is like their. But
I don't care too much for that personally. I think the kill race is cool, but I mean, you're basically just watching somebody stream at that point. That's what streamers are trying to do anyways, is just go for high kill games, so you might as well just be watching that. But I feel like, and this is kind of weird to say, I feel like Battle Royale esports are the most similar to like card game esports. You're essentially playing a FPS card game at that point. It's whether or not you top deck a purple gun or you top deck a gray gun that determines a lot of like your early game and how it goes. It's whether or not you top deck an Uzi in PUBG or you top deck an AK-47 in PUBG, you know? Like, and those first engagements are largely decided by RNG and what you found in your building if you happen to land near anybody else. So I think that anything that RNG heavy, you know, it's just messy. Definitely at the start.
Yeah.
You know? And if they could find some way to clean it up and make the loot static, you know, so that there's like hot zones where you know certain things are going to be in certain areas that are like kind of highly contested places that people want to go to. So it drives action there already, and it's not all RNG based. Like, I would love to see it go that direction.
That would be really cool.
Kind of like the guns and like original Halo games. It's like I always know the rocket launcher is going to be here, so I'm going to push the rocket launcher, and then you have this huge fight to get the rocket launcher.
Yep. I think stuff like that would be really fun.
Beginning fresh too.
Yeah.
That boring part you were talking about before the end, it might add some spice to it, since those zones are the high action zones now. That's a great idea. We got ideas here.
My mom in the chat just said, but my dad likes the Uzi, and that's true. My dad's been a fan of the Uzi for a long time. Fair enough. So what do you think is the most entertaining Battle Royale game to watch?
Ooh. I like Apex the most, for sure. I can't explain it. I just like it. Battle Royales ain't it for me, but that one That one hits right. I mean, I started when I met Vince. He played like only Apex, and that was I liked watching it. So here we are, right?
Yeah.
How about you, Spicy?
No, it's the same. I think it's so much more fast paced than pretty much a majority of, I guess, besides like Hyperscape or something, but it's because of how fast paced it is. And it's not like you watch a Warzone game and it could take like 20-30 minutes and they're still like, if they're good, they're just killing people the whole time, whatever. But Apex is like, I'm gonna just drop, I'm gonna start running in, find somebody, kill them, the game's over in like 5-10 minutes. All right, cool, whatever, start the next. But,
Apex is very quick, huh?
Yeah,
I didn't really think about that.
because I mean, Warzone's what, 150 player lobbies,
Yeah.
so like there's a ton of people, and where Apex it's a lot smaller. So
most definitely.
Yeah.
So for me, it's actually a tie between two games. Apex ranked games specifically, because of the last like 5 minutes, like I talked about, like it gets so tense and so hectic those last 5 minutes, and watching people that good play the game at a high level, like Predator lobbies trying to climb to get that #1 spot on Predator, those lobbies get crazy for the last 5 minutes, and I love watching that. And then also watching people who are average at Fall Guys play Fall Guys. That is
Fall Guys.
That is like some of the most fun I've had watching Twitch, honestly, is watching people who are not good at it, because people who are good at Fall Guys, it's like it almost removes the fun of what it is. It's like, did you guys play Mario Party when you were a kid?
Yeah.
Okay, so I got too good at Mario Party, and it was not super fun to play the mini games against me because I was too good at them, because I played a lot of Mario Party, like way too much Mario Party, you know? And like it kind of took some of the fun out of it. So when you're watching someone who's really good at Fall Guys, like just finesse all these mini games and just like dunk on everybody on all the teams, that's not that fun. But watching average people play Fall Guys, you know, and watching them like inch closer and closer to their first win, like it is so fun to watch, and they get so excited, and it's such a good time, and it's such like a fun, like energetic, like lighthearted game anyways, you know what I mean?
Yeah, it is.
Like I love that energy, you know? Like it's one of the most like positive experiences in gaming, I feel like.
The guys that are really good at Fall Guys, that's so funny to me, dude. You know, you're playing against like my little brothers, right? Like you relax, okay? Don't take it too seriously.
Amazing just said,
anyway, yeah,
so
that's a great one.
Amazing just said, so Vince was that guy? Yes, unfortunately, I was that guy. I was way over competitive as a child, and I still am a little bit over competitive, but it is what it is.
I tried to be that guy at Mario Party, so I get it.
Yeah,
I was like that.
You want to be good.
You were like that with what, Spicy?
Fusion Frenzy, which is like Xbox's version of Mario Party.
I never got to try it.
Like, it's like most of my friends had Xboxes, so we all played Fusion Frenzy. We played it at work one time because like my boss remembered Fusion Frenzy. We all played it. There's one specific mini game that I was like, I made sure that nobody would ever beat me in, and I was like, if they chose that game, I was like, you're gonna lose. And they're like, what are you talking? I'm like, no, this is it. You're done. This is my game. Like, you're not gonna win.
That's funny, dude. Man. So, what was the biggest letdown for you in the Battle Royale genre?
The Battle Royale genre?
The whole thing. There we go.
I'm kidding. I don't know. I don't keep up with them to really like have a letdown. I'm just kind of, if my friends are playing them, I just play it. I guess, yeah, Warzone kind of, the whole server thing you were talking about, and I never got into Warzone. That was one of the bigger ones I never really liked too much. I tried to like it, but probably just Warzone as a whole.
Yeah, Warzone for me, just because I thoroughly enjoyed Blackout for Black Ops 4. I had a lot of fun playing Blackout, which apparently a lot of people they don't like Blackout as much as Warzone, but I thought Blackout was the superior version of a Call of Duty Battle Royale game, and Warzone really like ruined like the COD Battle Royale dream for me, because now that's what they're going to keep going with. And
yeah.
But I honestly I talked to my friend about it because he's the same way as we really wish they kept Blackout as the Battle Royale, not Warzone. But it is
Blackout was cool. I forgot about Blackout.
Yeah, I loved playing. I would get wins in Blackout all the time, and because it's all ground loot, you know. Warzone is just I leveled up the most overpowered gun, and my loadout has both of them, and now I'm gonna sit in this building and make sure you can't do anything because it's 2 shots and you're dead. And I'm like, oh, okay, that's cool.
So My biggest issue with Blackout, and I actually think that this is the biggest reason why it wasn't more of a success. Obviously, the servers again were still bad, and they stayed bad. So that hasn't changed from Blackout to Warzone. That's consistent. Yeah, that's Call of Duty living right there. And the second thing was like they needed to reduce the time to kill in that game. Like it was too high of a time to kill. Like if they had cut the time to kill like maybe 30%, I would have had way more fun in that game. But like I felt like it was almost too hard to kill people, the way the armor system worked and everything like that. Like it just took too long. It felt like they were a bullet sponge sometimes. You know, like you'd be out there beaming people or whatever, and just like they managed to get behind cover and they're full plates again, and now there's nothing you can do about it. You know? And like Warzone, I think, actually has a really good time to kill, personally, but it's not nearly as fun of a game. Like,
I don't know, like, because it depends, because like in Warzone, I feel like you'll die ridiculously fast from something that you're like, what? I don't even know what happened. Like this dude just happened to shoot me twice, and now I'm dead. Which is to me more frustrating because it's like I was running and I don't even have a chance to get to cover because I'm just dead now. But I do understand, like Blackout, there were a couple times where you're like ping, 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 ping. You're just shooting them, and you're like, oh my god, just break the armor already. But
anything, yeah.
But yeah, to me, I felt like I don't like the loadout system in Warzone is what ruins the game for me, because it basically just becomes like how Joker you were saying earlier, just land, get as much money as you can, buy your loadout, cool, I'm done. Now I don't have to do anything.
I hate that, man.
And it gets rid of what to me a battle royale type game should be, is you just have to find loot on the ground and be good enough at the game to, you know, get the win. But
with do with what you have.
Yeah, Warzone, it's just, well, I play this game all the time, so I have max level guns, so now you're done. You're like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
I mean, this one shouldn't come as any of a surprise to you two, but my biggest letdown obviously is Royale, because I loved that game when it came out, and that was, if that game had stayed what it was on release and just improved like a couple of small things instead of trying to make sweeping changes to game systems that were already excellent, like, I would still be playing that game today. Mm-hmm. That would have been my main game that I was playing, like 100%.
Yeah.
I have not had that much fun playing a battle royale game since playing that game. Even when I was playing Apex Legends a lot at the start, like I was having a good time, but it wasn't nearly as fun as playing Royale. You know, like Apex is a little bit more sweaty, for sure. You know, like it has that tense competitive element, and it's so fast paced and everything. Like Royale, like everything from the art style to the weapons to the character abilities to like everything about that game just said this is fun to me. And like to see it take such a dramatic downward spiral, you know, after having a wildly successful launch, just like eats me up, man. It eats me up. It really does.
Or Royale.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude.
Look what they did to my boy.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. So, do you plan to play more battle royale games in the future? I mean, this is a genre that's been around for a little bit now. You know, like we've seen a lot of phases of battle royale games. We've seen games like Ring of Elysium came out, Islands of the Nine, Royale came and went. You know, Warzone came and went. I mean, came and stayed. Unfortunately, Blackout came and went. You know, Apex is still going strong. PUBG surprisingly is still going strong. I mean, that continues to be high on the Steam charts. H1Z1 kind of died off. I mean, where do you think this is going? Do you care? Do you want to keep playing more in the future? We'll start with you on this one, Devin, because I know how you feel a little bit about battle royale games, so I want to hear your opinion on this.
I mean, it's just one of those things where if it got really popular and I had a lot of friends playing it, then yeah, I probably would play it just to at least try it, or yeah, and if I like it from there, then sure, yeah, I'll play a lot more. But right now, I'm good off battle royale games. I think I've dipped my toes into all of the bigger ones that are out right now, so I think I'm all right.
So
until the future.
So can you think of anything that would make you come back to a battle royale game? Is there any change that could be made that would make it something you'd want to play?
Friends that played them. Nobody else is really playing them right now, I guess. Yeah, no, not really. I also just like repetition with I'm not a very competitive person. Like, so those games just don't really feel purpose to me. I'm like, well, I win and then what? I win like that. Cool, I guess. Now let's go to another one. I'd rather have something with more of like a goal.
Yeah, most definitely. I agree with that. I definitely get that vibe more now that I'm not playing as many battle royale games. I like having something with a little bit more direction, you know?
Yeah.
Especially now that I'm playing Smite again, you know? Every game you go in there, you're trying to kill the Titan.
Yeah.
Like it's
And it's always something new, different characters, and like there's such a large pool of characters. I just can't just winning to win. I in video games it's you know, like you always say, casually addicted to progression. I want something that like I can get from winning that isn't just like an extra number on my card or like a skin. I give me something cool. I don't. That's where I'm at with it. I just don't care for the genre that much. I don't know. It's not it for me.
nice. What about you, Spicy? What do you got?
I'm 100% the complete opposite. I'm a very competitive person. And I love the FPS genre. Like it's pretty much what I've focused. Like if you guys knew me in high school, I literally all I did was play Call of Duty and Halo. Like I didn't play anything else. That's literally all I did. And I love Battle Royale. I love the competitiveness of it, the feeling that you get when you're like the last the last team against someone else, or the last two teams or something. Like it's like when you play Call of Duty and you're like have to 1v4 somebody and search and destroy, and your heart's like racing because you're like I'm either gonna clutch this or I'm gonna like fail miserably. But I just love shooters in general, and battle royales are just fun because it's something different than just like hopping into team deathmatch or something like that, or you know, like capture the flag or something. And I think it will be hard to see what games could come out that would really like change things, because like you said, so many games have come out that it's kind of like, well, what else are you gonna do? Like I know that Hyperscape tried to add a little bit of new stuff with like Twitch integration and things like that, but I wasn't still a fan of it, I guess. So, but I mean, with BR games, it seems like a game will come, it's popular for a couple months, and then nobody cares anymore. Like you mentioned it when you're listing off games, Ring of Elysium. I had a lot of fun playing that game when it came out.
Same.
And then after the couple months, I was like, okay, who cares? I'll go back to what else I was playing. So, but I love them. I'll keep playing them every time they come out. Fingers crossed. I want a Halo Battle Royale, but that's the only thing.
Yeah. And before we continue on with this, Rythologies just rated with a party of 7. Yo, thank you so much for the raid. I appreciate that. Thank you, everybody. Welcome in. We are currently in the middle of our podcast right now. We're talking about Battle Royale games. So if you have any interesting games like that, that's what we're discussing today. We do a different topic each week. Usually have guests on the show, that sort of thing. So this week our guest is Spicy Doom. Awesome guy. We're glad to have him here as well. Thank you so much for the raid. Hope your stream went well. So do I plan to play more Battle Royale games in the future? I mean, this is kind of a tough question for me, you know? Because like I love Battle Royale games to an extent. Yeah. You know, like I feel like the first like 3 weeks of a Battle Royale game when it's out is the most fun that it will be. The most fun I had with Fortnite was the first like 3 weeks that I played it before everyone started learning how to build and got really good at it. The most fun I had in Apex was those first 3 weeks when I was just going into lobbies, and it was really just like shooting skill, and that's it. People didn't have all the crazy movement down. They weren't sticking people with arc stars every time you run around a corner. They weren't hitting Pathfinder grappling hooks for like actually traveling like half a mile in one swing. You know, like the player's skill level wasn't the same. It's just a bunch of people dropping in there and trying to have fun. Trying to have a good time, trying to figure things out, you know, testing out all the different legends, you know. Caustic wasn't in every single game because he's broken now, you know, like, or any of that. Like, it's just such a different environment when you're in there and you're just having a good time trying to learn with other people. And that was the time I had the most fun with Realm Royale, was early on in those first 3 weeks. You know, Ring of Elysium, same deal, early on when that released. And usually I'll hop into games like real quick when they first come out, because I think that the most exciting time to be part of a live service game like a Battle Royale game is that early phase. Like, the learning phase is so much fun. Like, getting to understand the game, getting to grow your skill level, like, so rapidly, because you start at the base of the skill floor. You know nothing about this game. You don't know how the guns are going to work. You don't know which ones are going to be good. Nobody else knows which ones are going to be good. You know, so everybody's on a perfectly even playing field, and it's literally just your shooting skill versus theirs. And I like it, man. I think that is some of the best times that you have in Battle Royale.
That's an excellent take, because I would agree with you 100%. I think the most fun I have in battle royales is right when I start playing and I'm learning the game. But then once I feel like I hit that like kind of that plateau for me, where I'm just feeling like I'm not getting that much better and I'm just losing all the time, then I'm like, all right, well, you know, my goal here is to win, and if I can't even do that, then there's really no point. Like,
Yeah.
I don't want to put in the time to get better at this game. So
Yeah, it definitely starts to feel kind of empty after a little bit there. Pandy32 in the chat said, thoughts on Fortnite? We haven't specifically discussed Fortnite yet, so I mean, and this is a pretty relevant topic. This is a pretty popular game, so I mean, let's throw it out there. What are your thoughts on Fortnite right now today, Devin?
Fortnite, today I do not like it very much. I don't play it. But if there's one thing I can respect about Fortnite, it's that they know how to keep their game alive with marketing and things like that. Like, I'll admit, even when I saw the whole Halo thing, I almost went back and played a few matches, and I haven't played in like 2 years. So it's I have respect for the game, but I don't play it. It's cool.
Yeah, putting Blood Gulch in Fortnite, money. I love it. I love it. It's incredible. What about you, Spicy? What do you got? Thoughts on Fortnite?
I mean, kind of the same, really. I played Fortnite when it first dropped, like season 1. It was cool. I don't care for the building, nor do I want to learn how to build fast enough to like deal with it. Literally, it is funny that you mentioned. Literally, the only reason I played Fortnite a couple months ago was to see if I could buy the Master Chief skin, to see if I could to kill people as Master Chief, but it wasn't available, so then I didn't care anymore.
I remember when we saw that get released on the Game Awards, and we were talking about it, dude. That was I almost started playing again. It was so close.
But it's just not for me. Like, to me, it's just a money cow at this point. It's how much money can we make by throwing in characters from Marvel and Halo, and I mean, like I said, it almost got me to go in there and spend money on it. So
yeah.
So I mean, I've got a few thoughts on Fortnite. Anybody who's been in my streams has heard me discuss Fortnite in the past, because Fortnite always gets brought up anytime that people talk about Paragon, and of course we do talk about Paragon. But I will never forgive Fortnite for being as successful as it is, and basically having Epic Games be like, okay, we don't need this game anymore because we're making so much money from Fortnite, and shutting it down.
So sad.
After making a lot of really terrible design choices with the game, pushing it from the state that it was in when it launched. But I genuinely believe that Fortnite is the best Battle Royale game currently in existence. I think that it is objectively the best. I hate it.
Yeah.
I actually hate that game. It's an incredible game, and I don't want to play it. I've said this before in my stream, like I said, I can build things, and I can shoot things, but I cannot do both. I will never be able to do both effectively. I will be bad at that game. I will not enjoy it. I love watching people play it, even can be really entertaining, like the mechanical skill that is required to be building structures around yourself and traversing these structures and editing walls with windows to be able to shoot through, and then re-editing to close it before your enemy can shoot you back, at like wall jumping and avoiding bullets and stuff like that. Like, Final Circle Fortnite is insane. It's legitimately insane. Like, the skill level that you have to do those things in that game is incredible. And I respect those players. I never want to play that video game ever again. I will never play that video game ever again. I have so much respect for Fortnite. I hate it.
It's at an incredible place right now, man. I played it. My little brothers are pretty into it, and I'll watch them play sometimes. Maybe even jump in for a game or two. But like, there's some funny stuff that you can do in that game now. Like, you can hop into these really nice cars. There's like Lambos and Maseratis and stuff. Like, you could just hop in and
the Warthog with the Halos.
Yeah, dude.
Like a Warthog, and it's like, what? Like,
and you get in, and they're just like playing Post Malone and Marshmello, and you're just bumping over to where the White House is being built in the distance, and you pull up and you build your own version of the Capitol building. It's insane, man. There is like a very niche factor to Fortnite that I don't think any other game could hit without everyone pointing fingers and being like, "Oh, Fortnite!" Like, so they did their thing, man, and it is great. It feels good to play too.
Most definitely.
It's crazy because I felt like a lot of people thought Apex was going to be the game that was going to like take down Fortnite, because it was getting like so many views when it came out, and it was like overshadowing Fortnite and all this stuff.
Yeah.
And then like probably after the first month, people were like, "Oh, well, back to Fortnite." I was like, "Oh no."
It's that building thing, man. I swear, like, it's just that and the guns feel good. I don't know.
I've got an opinion on that specifically, personally. Like, I think that if Apex had come out with content on the level that Fortnite did when it dropped, because there was a long dry period of Apex where there was just nothing new in the game that was coming out. There was nothing happening.
That was a big complaint from a lot of streamers.
Even when the big season 1 update dropped, like there was hardly anything in there. There was no meat on the bones, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And if it had come out with that level of content that Fortnite did, I think Apex could have done it. Honestly, I think it's that good of a game that it could have done it, but they lost too much of their momentum. And momentum is so important nowadays. People have a short attention span, you know? Like, they will immediately snap to something new if it comes out, like, quick. And they did that with Apex. But they didn't have stuff there to keep the attention span on them. So as soon as Fortnite was like, hey, look what we have now, guys. And a lot of the things that Fortnite had now, guys, immediately afterwards was stuff that Apex had.
Yeah.
You know? And they were like, it's back in the game you love. So people went back.
They did the buyback type system, right? In Fortnite.
Yep.
Yeah.
Like, what's crazy is Apex brought a lot of things that is now just standard and like that, like the pinging system and all that stuff is like. I remember in Apex, I was like, I don't even have to have a headset to talk to people, to communicate where people are and where things are. I just ping it all on the map, and I'm like, cool. And then now, like Warzone has it, and all these other games have like a pinging system and all that stuff. And yeah, I mean, like you said, but I think that's been an issue with Respawn just in general, because even when Titanfall 1 came out, Titanfall 1 was like huge. And they never added anything to the game, and it took them forever to add maps and other stuff. And people at that point were like, "Oh, I don't care about playing it anymore. There's no point. I don't want to go back."
Yeah, most definitely.
And I think that's another one of Fortnite's like epic successes is just being so like on it, always dropping new stuff, always updating their game with fresh new things. Like that's part of their strengths. So I mean, good for them, I guess.
Most definitely.
It also killed Unreal Tournament, by the way. So I also hate Fortnite for that reason.
Yeah, still sad about that.
Yeah.
Big F in the chat. One other thing that I want to mention, Oaklife said, what are your thoughts on the Fallout 76 BR? I have no thoughts on that as I haven't played it. I saw some people play it. It looked kind of neat. Like I saw the big head thing, I think, was like something inside of that game. You could get like a bigger head on your character or something like that. I don't know if that was like just a like time event or something, or if it was a hat that you picked up. I feel like I saw that in somebody's stream. I might be crazy. But like, personally, I don't care. I thought Fallout 76 was a huge disaster, and I didn't like what they did with like the canvas bags and all that stuff. We've talked about it before on the show. So I choose not to support it. I got it like dirt cheap on clearance just to see if it ever turned into a game I want to play, and it hasn't yet. So we will see what happens.
I've played like
Getting there.
30 minutes of Fallout 76, and that's pretty much it.
So
I haven't even touched it.
Nobody's tried the Battle Royale though.
Nah.
Okay, it looked fun, but it didn't look better than the other ones. That's my opinion on it.
Yeah, I haven't touched it.
Right on. All right, well, today's show was quite a good time. Thank you again for the raid. I appreciate that. You're awesome. Thank you so much for that, man.
Yeah.
Hopefully you had a fantastic stream. It was excellent of you to bring your party over here. That was Rythologies also as well who rated us. RYTHOLOGYZ for anybody listening. Go check out his channel. He's awesome. Also, for anyone who doesn't know where to find you and more of your content, Spicy Doom is our guest this week. It was so awesome to have you on here. Where can people find you at, man?
Always a pleasure.
Yeah, man. I mean, I'm pretty much Spicy Doom on like everything: Twitch, Twitter. You can find me on TikTok if you want to find me on TikTok. But yeah, man, Spicy Doom.
Awesome. And Devin, for people who want more of you and your content, where can we find you at?
Ooh, you can find me on Twitch using that name below, Devin Kronk. Also on Twitter, same thing, but with 2 Ks. That's where I post stream updates, other stuff, and then you catch me live on my Twitch channel.
Awesome. Right on. And for anyone who doesn't already know and who it's your first time here, first of all, welcome in. We're glad to have you. We do this podcast every Saturday at 3 p.m. Pacific time. We love to have guests on the show. Spicy Doom is our guest this week. In 2 weeks, we're actually having a new guest that we haven't had on before that goes by Trashy Sweetheart on Twitch. So we're excited to announce that they're going to be on there for that episode. We haven't decided on a topic for next week's episode yet, but I will be posting that update in the Discord at some point during this week, as well as on Twitter. So if you want to find me and more of my content, just Vince on Twitch, JUSTVINCE, and Vince0094 on Twitter, and then also Twitch just Vince on TikTok as well. I do upload TikTok videos. Most of it's my content right now because that's what I'm doing, but some of it's just like for the memes and it's up there. Also, we do have the Twitter links there in the chat for anyone who wants to follow us, and for anyone who wants to be on the show. If you go to the YouTube channel, the Gaming Tonic YouTube channel, there will be a link there for you for anyone here in the chat. If you're a streamer, if you have a webcam and a decent mic, and you want to work with us to get some new content out there in front of a different audience, you like what we're doing, you want to be a part of it, we want you to be a part of it. just like Spice is a part of it.
See.
We brought him back a second time because we liked him being a part of it so much. If you want to be a guest on the show, just fill out the application right there that's linked in the chat. Or if you're listening to this online, go onto the YouTube at Gaming Tonic and feel free to fill out the application and we will be reaching out to you. Also, for anyone who has questions, for anyone who wants to do our job for us, you want to hear us talk about topics, you want to hear us talk about games, you want to hear us talk about anything, news that's happening, things that are relevant to you, feel free to send us an email at gamingtonic1@gmail.com. We want to hear from you guys. Send us nice comments, send us kind words, whatever it is that you want to say. We want to hear about it. We hope you're enjoying the content, and it has been an absolute pleasure doing this with you and sharing this with you guys. Spicy, I cannot thank you enough for coming back. You're the man. It was excellent having you on the show.
Always be here, bro. Always.
We appreciate you so much, dude. Hopefully, we will be having you on the show again soon. Looking forward to it. Devin, as always, a pleasure.
Excellent guest.
Yeah,
Of course. 07, boys.
Absolutely an excellent guest. Thank you so much for all the new follows and everyone who stopped by. I will be live again on my channel. I'm taking my, kind of night off tonight, so I won't be streaming at 1:30 in the morning like I usually am because we're doing viewer games on Smite. Tomorrow, we're going to do custom lobbies, and I'm actually going to try my hand at shoutcasting at 2 p.m. Pacific time tomorrow. So I'm going to be casting Smite games between my viewers, and it's going to be a good time. We've got I think we've got 14 people signed up in the Discord right now, so we're going to have enough people to fill up the lobby at least, and that's going to be a really good time.
Are you doing this at?
2 p.m. Pacific time. We're going to be doing customs.
2 p.m. Pacific time, boys. Yeah. You heard it here.
That's
be
right.
there or be square.
Yep. Yep. Big old pog. That's a big old poggy for that. We're real excited. So thank you so much to everybody who came out for the live show. You guys are absolutely amazing. Hopefully we will be hearing from you and seeing you soon, and take care.